Hello everyone on YouTube, it's Jordan here again with something serious to talk about. Ever since I got this computer, it has been fast, extremely fast. It's my go-to machine whenever I need to get stuff done. While meanwhile, my Mac is wasting away doing absolutely nothing, simply because it has a hard drive. And this video will go over my experience with macOS and why it was unpleasant and why the operating system is terribly underdeveloped. You can't delete your own files. A lot of the times when you try and delete files and you own these files, especially if they're files in your personal cloud storage, it just won't let you all the time because it'll say that you don't have permission to delete them. But of course you do. They're your files. It's probably because macOS thinks that they're part of the file system. One of the reasons why macOS is terribly underdeveloped. Constant updates. You know how Windows is bad for constantly updating? Well, the Mac is worse. Not only is it that, but it takes at least a long time to install an update on a Mac, because it's like a gig in size. Windows doesn't do that. It never will do. Windows is just so good. Switch to Safari. Now look, I hate Safari for one reason. It's obsolete. It's not like Chrome. It doesn't have all the ins and outs that other browsers have. And no, it isn't optimized for the Mac. This is another reason why I switched to Android as well from iOS. Which is why the problem lies with the Apple ecosystem. The next thing I hate about Macs is Gatekeeper. It is so intrusive. I mean, come on. I know there is a way you can disable it, but just let people open apps. That's why people buy Windows PCs. Now you wonder why people don't buy Macs anymore. Two-factor authentication. Seriously, Apple should forget about this feature. Not everyone owns iPhones. Someone may have a Mac, but they may also have an Android phone. So stop asking them to set up two-factor authentication when they want to sign into their account. They may want to do something pretty simple, like, I don't know, check FaceTime calls on the Mac, but also to use iCloud web app on a Chromebook. And you're just telling them to upgrade to use two-factor authentication? That's some bad marketing. It's just a way to get you to buy an iPhone again. And no, that ain't happening again. Constant slowdowns. You know how your computer is always crashing a lot of the time because you're doing some heavy work? But what if you're not doing heavy work? Well, enter the Mac. Even if you're not doing heavy work, it is so slow. I mean, the M1s probably have fixed it, but this is for people who have bought Intel Macs. And while an SSD solves the problem, it doesn't help the fact that Intel is not the best CPU manufacturer, which leads to my next point. Copying a 169 megabyte file. 72 hours left. This obviously means that the processor can't be bothered to calculate how long it has left. I think this is an Intel problem, not an Apple problem. AMD processors, that does happen, but it happens very rarely. That clearly Apple should have just switched to AMD for its low-end Macs. But Hopefully the M1's changed that. And that's my overall experience with macOS. I thought it was going to be smooth sailing. If you've ever had an unpleasant experience with an operating system, then you know how it feels to be frustrated. On top of that, what if you want to use GarageBand, but your Mac can only run Catalina? You just can't, because it expects you to upgrade to Big Sur. Windows doesn't do that. So, what can you do in this strait? Well, the best thing you can really do is to stop using the product altogether and just stick with either Windows, Linux, or Chrome OS. Granted, if you've got a much powerful Mac, stay with that. But if you're anyone like me who has a low-end Intel, then stick to your more powerful machine. In this case, this Acer Aspire. Anyway, this is Jordan signing off saying have a good day everyone.